Amba Parame. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Amba Parameshwari Akila Andeshwari Adi Parashakti Palayama Adi Parashakti Palayama Amba Parameshwari Akila Andeshwari Adi Parashakti Palayama. Om Keshwaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhuvaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Vishnuvaya Namaha, Matsudharaya Namaha, Trivikramaya Namaha, Vamanaya Namaha, Sridharaya Namaha, Rishikeshaya Namaha, Padmanabhaya Namaha, Damodaraya Namaha, Sankarshnaya Namaha, Vasudevaya Namaha, Pradyumnaya Namaha, Niruddhaya Namaha, Purushottamaya Namaha, Dokshaya Namaha, Narasimhaya Namaha, Achyutaya Namaha, Janardhanaya Namaha, Upendraya Namaha, Hare Namaha, Sri Krishna, Namaha Sri Krishna, Namaha Sri Krishna, Namaha Shambhuve Namaha, Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya, Trayambakaya, Tripurantakaya, Trikagni Kalaya, Kalagni Rudraya, Neelakantaya, Mrutyunjayaya, Sarveshwaraya, Sadashivaya, Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Om. We just completed the 10th chapter of Devi Bhagavatham in the previous session. In the first book or the first skandha, we are coming to the 11th chapter on the birth of Budha. Budha is Graha. Namasurya, Chandraya, Mangalaya, Budaya cha, Guru Budaya cha, Budha ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಬುಧ ಗ್ರಹ. ಅವನ ಬರ್ತ್ ವಿಷಯ ನಾವು ಓದ್ತೀವಿ ಈಗ ಕತೆ ಒಳಗೆ. ಈಗ ಸೂತ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಯರು ಶೌನಕಾದಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನೈಮಿಷಾರಣ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. That means Suta Maharshi is telling the Devi Bhagavata to all the munis and tapasvis and brahmins in Naimisharanya forest. Hearing the Suta Maharshi, Sonaka, they are all listening to Suta Maharshi. So Suta is telling, O munis, I am now telling you, as far as my intelligence goes, what I heard from the mouth of Sri Veda Vyasa Maharshi, now hear that beautiful divine incident. And he is telling the incidents as the influence of Devi Maya, or influenced by Maya surrounding the people in Devaloka also, Manushaloka also. The Maya is covering Devas also. Once in a time of the exceedingly beautiful wife of Brahaspati. Brahaspati is Guru. Navagrahadalli Guru, Devaguru. He is his teacher and he is a Guru for Devas. Once on a time, the exceedingly beautiful dear wife of Brahaspati, named Tara, full of youth and beauty, of the most beautiful limbs, intoxicated with pride, went to the house of Chandradeva, the moon god. Chandra is also second graha in the Navagraha. And Chandradeva, the is also disciple of Brahaspati Guru. Tara, being a beautiful face like a moon, the moon becomes very passionate about Tara. Tara also fell amorphous at the sight of moon. Thus both them became attracted very much passionately, attached to each other. Then the moon, that is Chandradeva, and Tara, being smitten by the Manmata, Cupid, and intoxicated with amorphous passions, began their sexual activities with reciprocal feelings of passionate of love. Some days passed in this state. The Brahaspati Guru, then being distressed with the missing of his wife in his house, sent his pupil to bring back Tara. Tara is his wife. And so the pupil went to Chandra's house looking for Tara. And Tara was then submissive of Chandra and therefore refused to come back to Brihaspati. Brihaspati sent over and over again his pupil, and when Chandradeva returned with the messenger, Brihaspati became very angry and went personally to Chandra's house and spoke angrily to the moon god, who was puffed up with arrogance and somewhat smiling. So Brihaspati Guru says, "O moon, why are you committing this vicious act contrary to dharma? Why are you keeping my beautiful wife in your house? I am your Guru. You are my client. O stupid, who you are? Who are you enjoying your Guru's wife and keeping her in custody in your house? Do you not know that he who kills a Brahmana, who steals gold, who drinks, and who goes to the wife of other persons and wife of one's own Guru's wife are Mahapatakas, great sinners. And those who keep company of these are the fifth Mahapatakas. Therefore, if you had enjoyed my wife, you are exceedingly vicious, blamable, and a Mahapataki, great sinner. You are not fit to live amongst the Devas because you violated the Dharma. O wicked one, now I say that even now you better forsake Tara and return Tara to my house, who is of blue color and whose loka is loka, and I want to go from here without having Tara. I won't go without Tara coming with me. And if you do not give back Tara, then you are certainly with her, and undoubtedly I will curse you. I will finish you. When Brihaspati said so, Chandra, the husband of Rohini and husband of 23 wives, spoke to his Guru Deva, who was very angry, sorry and afflicted at the separation from his beloved wife. Thus in this world, the Brahmins that know Dharma Shastra, that are devoid of anger, are fit to be worshipped, and those that are not so, they are objects of disrespect and not to be worshipped by all of their anger. O sinless one, the beautiful one will surely go to your house. What harm is there to you if Tara waits here in our house for a few days? She is staying here of her own accord to enjoy pleasures and will go back to her own will. One word more, you gave out before this opinion of Dharma Shastra that as a Brahman, though guilty of committing vicious deeds, becomes pure again by the practice of karmas and enjoined in the Vedas. So a woman too, though guilty of adultery, becomes pure again when she is again in the period of her menstruation next cycle. At these words of Chandradeva, Brihaspati, the Guru of Devas, became exceedingly sorry and anxious and went back immediately to his own house with a grievous heart, full of amorous feelings. After staying in his own house for some days, Brihaspati, worn out with anxiety, came again quickly to the house of Chandra. But no sooner he was at the gate, at enter the gate, he was stopped by the doorkeepers. He became so angry and stopped at the gateway. And when he saw that Chandra did not make his appearance, he became exceedingly angry and thought, "Oh, what a wonderful man, what a bad man he is. This irreligious Chandra, being my disciple, has done this vicious act and took by violence the wife of his Guru, who is reckoned as is considered to be treated as a mother, and I will now teach him a good lesson." Standing in the entrance of his Chandra's gateway, Brihaspati began to speak loud. "O stupid, vicious, vilest of the Devas, why do you now sleep in your inner room? Do return quickly, my wife, else I will curse you at once. In case you do not bring my wife back at once, I will now reduce you to ashes." Hearing those strong words of Brihaspati, Guru Chandradeva, the king of the Didas, quickly came out of the house and said smilingly, "O Brahmin, why are you spending your stock of words for nothing? That all auspicious lady of a blue color and looking beautiful is not fit for you. Therefore, take another comparatively uglier woman or any other woman for your use. exceedingly youthful and lovely woman like her is not fit for a man like you. O stupid one, I see you don't know anything about the Karma Shastra, the book that dwells on amorphous passion. Those wise men who are skilled in this Shastra assign for the woman their lovers equivalent to their beauty in matters of amorphous dealing. So, O stupid man, go away wherever you like. I won't give you back your wife. Do whatever lies in your power. I won't return your wife. When you have become passionate, your curse won't affect me in any way. This I say finally unto you, O Guru, I will not give you back your wife. Do what you want. Thus spoken by Chandra, Brihaspati Guru became very anxious and also angry. He then went away quickly to the Indra's house. So Indra being uh, the Devaguru, Deva leader of the Devas, seeing Guru Deva is morose and sorry, the very liberal-minded Indra Deva worshipped him with Padya, Argya, and Achamana and asked, O highly fortunate Guruji, why do you look so anxious? O great Muni, why are you grievous and sorry? You are my Guru. Is that you are insulted by anyone in my kingdom? Say freely. All the regents of the several quarters in Lokapalas, and all the Devas, armies are under your command. Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesha. Also, they are ready to lend you every assistance, Guruji. No doubt. So say, what is the cause of your anxiety and sorrowfulness? Hearing these words of Indra, Brihaspati Devaguru said, Chandra has stolen my beautiful eyed wife. I asked her back again and again, but that wicked Chandra is not returning me my wife at all. O Lord of the Devas, what am I to do now? You are my help and guide. O Shatakrutu, you are the Lord of Devas. Therefore, I pray to you with a very grievous heart, help me in this matter and get my wife back to my house. Hearing this, Indra said, O knower of Dharma, do not be sorry. O Sruvarta, I am your servant. O highly intelligent one, surely I will bring your wife back to your house. I will send a messenger, and even then, if Chandra, mad with pride, do not return your wife, I will wage a war with him and fight against him with all our Deva armies. Thus, consoling Brihaspati Guruji, Indra sent a very clever man who was a good speaker and wonderful in his capabilities to Chandra. The clever and wise messenger went to the Chandraloka, the region of the moon, and spoke to Chandra, the husband of Rohini. Thus, O Mahabhaga, Indra has sent me to you to communicate his message to you. So, O intelligent one, I will tell you what he has ordered me. Hear me. He said, O highly fortunate one, you know well Dharma and Niti Shastra, the science of morals, the more so because the virtuous Maharishi, Atri, is your father. Therefore, O Suvrata, you ought not to commit any mistakes or anything against Dharma. Such blamable act. See, all beings should protect their own wives, always without remaining idle to the best of their powers. Therefore, no doubt quarrels would ensure necessarily on that point. As far as this point of protecting one's wife is concerned, your Guru Deva ought also to do his best. You ought to consider all persons like you and your own self. O Sudhakara, you have got 28 exceedingly beautiful wives, who are the daughters of the Daksha Maharaja. Why then do you desire to enjoy the wife of your Guru? It is against Dharma. The beautiful Apsaras, celestial nymphs, Menaka, and others are always residing in the heavens. You can see them to your heart's content. Leave off the wife of your Guru in case any powerful man commits an unworthy act out of egoism. The illiterate ones would follow them. So dharma will decline. Therefore, O highly lucky one, do such as does not lead for nothing quarrels amongst the gods, and leave your Guru's wife. Even beautiful, hearing these words from the messenger, the moon Chandradeva became somewhat angry and making gestures, replied to the messenger as if to Indra, thus, O mighty armed one, as you yourself are the Lord of Devas and the knower of Dharma, so your priest too has become like you. The head of both of you are the same. You will find many that can show their learning and giving advice to others, but you will find always very rare such persons as will act themselves to their own advices when occasion arises and wants them to fulfill their own awards. O Lord of the Devas, all the persons take the opinion of the Shastras, framed by Brihaspati Guru only. Then why the quarrel would ensue with me and the Devas when I can enjoy according to his dictates a woman who is herself willing. See also that is the rule in the world. His might is right. All things go to the powerful man who can take by force. Nothing falls to the lot of the weak. Moreover, this woman is mine and that woman is of another. This false notion comes to those whose brains are weak. When Tara is so much attached to me and is not at all attached to Brihaspati Guruji, the above rule applicable to me all the more, how then can I quit the lady so much attached to me according to the laws of Dharma and morals? You can see also that happiness reigns in the family where the wife is according to the will of the husband. How then can the household happiness exist when the lady of the house is always dissatisfied? Therefore, the household happiness of the Guru is impossible as Tara is dissatisfied with Brihaspati Guruji, since he enjoyed the wife of his younger brother Samruta. Samruta. Brihaspati, he blames the Brihaspati Guruji that he enjoyed the wife of his younger brother, Samvarta. Then the result comes to this: O thousand-eyed one, how have you come to be thousand-eyed? However, that may be, you are the Lord of Devas, Devendra. You can do whatever you like. O messenger, go and tell your Lord Devendra all that I have spoken. I will not return by any means that beautiful Tara from my house. When Chandra spoke like this, the messenger went back to Indra and communicated to him all that Chandra Deva had spoken. Hearing this, Indra became angry and ordered all the Deva forces, Deva Sainya, to be ready at once to attack Chandra. Hearing this news of war, Shukracharya, out of enmity to Brihaspati Guru, went to Chandra and spoke thus: O highly intelligent one, never return Tara in case if war ensues between you and Indra. I will help you by Mantra Shakti. On the other hand, Bhagavan Shankara, hearing of the vicious act of Chandra's, taking his Guru's wife, and knowing that Shukracharya was the enemy of Brihaspati, came to the assistance of Devas. The great war then ensued between the Devas, like the terrific war of Tarakasura. It continued for many years. Then the grandfather, Brahma, seeing the great havoc in the lives of Devas and Asuras, came there on his Vahana, Hamsa Vahana. So Brahma arrived on Hamsa Vahana to secure peace and talk to Chandra. Quit the Guru's wife, if not, I will call Vishnu and destroy all of your party. He also desisted the son of Bhrigu, Shukracharya, saying, O highly intelligent one, why has this wicked idea possessed your mind? Is it due to the bad association? Then Shukracharya also told Chandra, the lord of the medicinal plants, not to wage war and said, better quit you now the Guru's wife. Your father Maharshi Atri, because Chandra is the son of Atri Maharishi. Durvasa, Atri, and Dattatreya, three people are son of Maharshi Atri. And he doesn't like Chandra to go out of the Dharma. Then, hearing these strong words from Shukracharya, then Chandra returned to Brihaspati's wife, Tara, though she was not satisfied with him and become herself being pregnant at that time. Brihaspati returned with joy to his house, which is accompanied by his wife. Devas and Danavas went away to their respective places. Brahma went to Brahmaloka and Shankara went to Kailas. So Brihaspati began to pass his time happily with his beautiful wife. Some days went away when the wife Brihaspati, Tara, gave birth to an all auspicious son, having all the qualities of Chandra on an auspicious day and under the influence of an auspicious star. Seeing this newborn child, Brihaspati gladly performed the natal ceremonies of the child. Hearing that son is born to him, Chandra sent a messenger to Brihaspati saying that the child is not his, but is his child. It is born out of Chandra's semen. Why then have you performed the natal ceremonies out of your own will? Hearing these words, Chandra's messenger, Brihaspati said, no, this child is mine. No doubt as he resembles quite like me. When Brihaspati said this, war again ensued. The Devas and Danavas met each other again in the battlefield, and councils of war were held. Then, for the preservation of peace, Prajapati Brahma went there again, and before all desisted the Devas and Danavas, mad of war and ready to fight against each other. Brahma then asked Tara, O auspicious one, say truly, whose child is this? O beautiful one, if you say truly, then this war resulting in the loss of so many lives can be saved. Will cease the war. The handsome Tara, looking shy, looking lower her head with a shame, and gently spoke to Brahma. This is the Chandra's child, and went inside. Chandradeva then became very glad and took the child, put down its name as Budha, and carried it to his own house. Bhagavan Brahma, Indra, and other devas went back to their respective places. All the spectators went also to their own places. Whence they came, O Munis, I have now described the birth of Buddha. So the Chandra's son, Chandras and Tara, is the wife of Brihaspati Guru, and Chandra had a son with Tara called Buddha, and they named him as a Buddha. And so Suta Maharshi is telling, O Munis, I have now described the birth of Buddha as the son of Chandra and in the womb of Brihaspati's wife, as I heard it from the mouth of Veda Vyasa Maharshi, the son of Satyavati and Parashara. Thus ends the 11th chapter of the first skandha on the birth of Buddha in the Mahapurana of Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham of 18,000 shlokas by Maharshi Veda Vyasa. The next come to the chapter 12th on the birth of Pururava. Suta Maharshi said, O Maharshis, the son above mentioned Buddha is the greatly religious Pururava, of a very charitable disposition and always ready to perform sacrificial acts and yajna yaga. He was born of a Kshatriya woman named Ila, and I will now describe how this Pururava was born to Ila and Buddha. Kindly listen. In those days, there was a king named Sudyamna, very truthful and highly capable of king in keeping his senses under control. Once on a time, wearing beautiful earrings with extraordinary bow named Ajagaba and holding the arrow case full of arrows on his back, he went out on a hunt to a forest. Riding on a horse born of the country Sindhu, surrounded by a few of his ministers, going about in regions of forest. The king got for his shikari buck, hare, boar, rhinoceros, bison, buffalo, young elephant, streamer deer, wild fowl, and various other animals fit for sacrificial purposes. Thus he went on deep into the interior of the forest. This divine forest was adorned with rows of Mandara Pushpa trees and situated at the bottom of the Mount Sumeru. Various trees and flowers were spreading the beauty of the forest all around. At places where Ashoka creepers, Vakula, Sala, Tala, Tamala, Champaka, Pannaga, mango, nip, maduka, pomegranate, coconut trees, utica, plantain, kunda creeper, and various other trees and flowers. At some other places, the bowers formed Madhavi creepers, enhanced the beauty and shed the luster of all around the forest, all around the garden. There were tanks and reservoirs of water in the forest filled with swans and karandavas and other aquatic birds. The bamboo trees on their banks, becoming filled with air, were emitting sweet musical sounds. And at many places of that all bliss-giving forest, there were bees humming sweetly and delighting the minds of people there. Now the Rajarshi Pradyumna became highly gladdened in his heart to see this interior of the forest, resonated with the cooing of cuckoos, and beautified by various lovely flowers. And no sooner he entered there than he was turned into a female, and his horse became also female horse, mare. The king then became seriously anxious. He began to think over and over again, what is this? How this has come to me? And became very ashamed and sorry, pondered over that a matter. What am I to do now? How can I, in this human condition, go back to my palace and rule the kingdom? Alas, what was who deceived me like this? Hearing these astounding words of Suta, the rishi said, O Suta, you have mentioned that the king Sudimna, equal to God, has been turned into a woman. This is very strange indeed. Therefore, O Surata, what is the reason of his being turned into a lady, and a horse also becoming a lady horse mare? Kindly describe the fully what happened to the beautiful king did in the forest, what mistake he has done in the forest. Suta Puranika said, once upon a time, the Sanaka and other rishis went to this forest to pay a visit to Shankara, illuminating the 10 quarters of their holy aura. But when Bhagavan Shankara was in amorphous dealings with his wife Shankari, the beautiful Devi Ambika was then naked and sitting on the lap of Shankara, and therefore became very much ashamed at the sight of these saints and munis. She got up hurriedly and putting on their cloth, remained there shuddering with a great shame and sensitiveness. The rishis, also seeing them engaged in amorphous dealings, went away quickly to the hermitage of Narayana in the Himalaya. Then Bhagavan Shankara, seeing Shankari too much sensitive, said, why are you so much bashful and shy? I am doing just now what will give you the pleasure. O beautiful one, whoever male will enter this forest from today onwards and hereafterwards within the precincts of this forest will be instantly converted into woman. O Munis, though the forest gave all delights to all, yet having this defect, all the persons that know of the curse of Shankara carefully avoid the forest. But no sooner did the king Sudyamna enter into the forest out of innocency, he didn't know, than he, as well as his attendants, were instantly turned into women. There could be no doubt in this. The king became overpowered with a great care and anxiety and did not go back home at all out of shame to his palace. And he began to wander to and fro on the outer skirts of the forest. He became known afterwards as the woman, and he was called Ila. So the Sudyumna king became a lady, and he was known afterwards as the woman Ila. So Kshatriya king became a Kshatriya lady called Ila. Now once on occasion, Budha, while he was wandering at his will in the Bhuloka, came up there and Budha, the son of Chandradeva, became desirous to have this Ila as his wife. And Ila also, fallen in love with beautiful Budha, son of Chandradeva, became desirous to have him as her husband. They became so very much tied in love towards each other that they had a sexual intercourse. Thus, Bhagavan Buddha generated in the womb of Ila Pururava, the son, and Ila gave birth in the due time, the son Pururava, in that forest. She then, with an anxious heart, recollected while in the forest. So, Sudyumna king became a lady, and lady called Ila, she became pregnant with Buddha, and the future baby is called Pururava. What a confusion. So, the son Pururava in the forest, the Ila, she then, with an anxious heart, recollected while in the forest what happened to her, what happened to him. Family priest Vasishtha Deva came to know. Vasishtha, seeing the distress condition of the king Sudyumna, became affected with pity and pleased Mahadeva Shankara, the most auspicious Deva of all, by prayers and praises and hymn. When Bhagavan Shankara wanted to grant him a boon that he desired, Vasishtha wanted that king would be turned back as a man as before. At this, Bhagavan Shankara said, in recognition of his promise that the king Sudyamna would be alternately 1 month a man and a second month a woman, and so on. Thus, by the favor of Vasishtha Maharishi, the king Sudyamna got his boon and returned to his kingdom and began to govern it. When he used to be turned into a woman, he will stay in the palace, he will not come out. When he is to become a man, he governed the kingdom, come out of the palace. At this, the subjects became very anxious and did not welcome the king as they used to do before. Some days passed away in this way when the prince Pururava, the son of Ila and Buddha, grew up into manhood. Then the king Sudyumna gave over to him the kingdom and made him the king. Pururava, young boy, became a king. That's Buddha's and Ila's son. So, Sudyumna king gave the kingdom to his son Pururava, and he make a new capital named Pratisthana and started out to an hermitage to perform tapasya. He is fed up in his life, becoming a girl, a 1 month boy, and he don't know what to do. He is not happy himself. So he went to the beautiful forest, vegetated with all sorts of trees, and got from Devarshi Narada the excellent mantra of Bhagavati Devi, consisting of 9 letters. That is Navarna mantra. Om, Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaya Vichai. This is the 9 letters Navarna mantra. This is 9 letters Navarna mantra. Narada Devarshi Narada given to Sudyumna, the king. He began to repeat it incessantly with an heart filled with love. Thus some days passed away when the all auspicious Devi Bhagavati, the savior of the whole universe, became pleased with the king Sudyumna and appeared before the king, assuming the divine beautiful form composed of attributes, intoxicated with drink, and with eyes rolling with pride, and riding on the Vahana, the lion Simhavahana. Seeing this divine form of the mother of the universe, the king Ila, in this form, he became a girl at the time, bowed down before her with eyes filled with love and gladly praised her with hymns. Thus, O Bhagavati, what a fortunate being I am that I have seen today the extraordinary world-renowned form of Simbhavani, Chamundi, thine granting grace and benefit to all the lokas. I therefore bow down to you and your lotus feet, granting desires and liberation, and served by the whole host of devas. O Mother, what mortal is there on this earth who can fully comprehend the glories when all the devas and munis get bewildered in trying to know of them? O Devi, I am thoroughly astonished to see the glories, your glories, and your compassion towards the devotees and distressed and poor people and helpless people. How can a human being who is devoid of attributes comprehend thy attributes when Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Indra, Chandra, Pavana, wind, Surya, Kubera, and eight Vasus, Aštavasus know that? Know not your powers. O Mother Bhagavan Vishnu of unrivaled brilliancy knows your as a part of thine only, as Kamala of Sattvaguna, who is the wife of Narayana, giving one all one's desires. Bhagavan Brahma knows that your part only as the form made of Rajoguna, and Bhagavan Shankara knows he is made up of with Uma only Tamoguna. But O Mother, none of them knows the Turiya form transcending all the gunas. O Mother, where is my humble self that is of very dull intellect and powerless? And where is thy extremely propitious serenity and graciousness? Indeed, such a gracious favor on me is certainly beyond my expectation. Therefore, O Bhavani, I have come to realize in particular that your heart is full of unbounded mercy for those who are in trouble, those who are devotees. Though those certainly feel compassion for these bhaktas that are full of bhakti towards you. O Mother, what more shall I say than this, that Bhagavan Madhusudana, Vishnu, though married to Kamala, born from only a part of yourself, considers himself unfit of her, and is therefore not happy, then the fact that he, the Adipurusha, gets his feet shampooed by Kamala merely corroborates the fact that he wants his feet to become pure and all auspicious to the world by the holy touch of Kamala's hands. O Mother, it seems to me that the ancient Purusha, Bhagavan Vishnu, wants gladly to be kicked by you like Ashoka tree for his own improvement and pleasure, and therefore it is that thou dost want, as if thou hast not become angry, to beat with one's legs thy husband, stricken by some smara, cupid, love, and worshipped by all the devas, who lies prostrate below thy feet. O Devi, when thou always residest on the calm broad chest, as if on the great cot, adorned beautifully of Bhagavan Vishnu, as lightning in deep dense blue clouds, then it is without doubt that he, becoming the Lord of the universe, was surely become thy Vahana, vehicle, on account of carrying you on his breast. O Mother, if though if Madhusudana, out of wrath, he becomes at once powerless and is not worshipped by anybody, for it is seen everywhere that happens, though calm and serene, if devoid of Sri, that is, without Lakshmi, if wealth and power are forsaken by their relatives, as reduced to a state having no qualities. O Mother, I am not to be ignored by thee on account of my being a woman, for was it not the fact that Brahma and other devas who always take shelter of your lotus feet? I had not all to assume one's youthful feminine forms while in Manidvipa, and I know this surely, that thou again didst make them of male forms. Therefore, O thou unbounded powerful, what shall I describe about your power? Indeed, there is a great doubt in my mind whether your art masculine or feminine. O Devi, wherever thou may be, whether with attributes on transcending the attributes, whether male or a female, I always bow down to you with heart full of devotion towards you. O Mother, I want that I may have one unflinching devotion towards you in the final stage. This sort of prayer with a great devotion, Sudimna king prayed Bhagavati, who came as a Simbhavahini in a Chamundeshwari Darshana. Thus praising the Devi, the king Sudimna, in the form of feminine Ila, took refuge of the world mother, and Devi, becoming greatly pleased with his prayers, gave to the king then and there union with her own self, Sayujya moksha. So he merged with the Devi. Thus the king got the highest steady place. So very rare even to the Munis, by the grace of prime force, the Devi Brahmamai. Thus ends the 12th chapter of the first skandha, the birth of Pururava in the Mahapurana of Sri Mad Devi Bhagavatham of 18,000 verses by Maharshi Veda Vyasa Maharishi. Oh. नमोस्तु अनंताय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादाक्षरपाशासनाम्ने पुरुषाय षष्ठे सहस्रकोटियुगधारिणे नमः सहस्रकोटियुगधारिणे नमः आकाशात् परितं यथागतसागरं सर्वदेव नमस्कारः श्रीकेशं प्रजत्यो नमः सर्ववेदेशत्पुण्यं सर्वतीर्थेषु यत्फलं तत्फलं पुण्यमाप्तु वासनात् वासुदेवस्य वासन्ते जगत्रयं सर्वभूतनिवासोऽसि वासुदेवस्ते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियर्वा बुद्धात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे अम्ब परमेश्वरि अखिलाण्डेश्वरि आदिपराशक्ति पालय मा आदिपराशक्ति पालय मा अम्ब परमेश्वरि अखिलाण्डेश्वरि आदिपराशक्ति पालय मा शंभवे नमः विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यंबकाय त्रिपुरांतकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकंठाय मृत्युंजयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः हरि ओम नमः शिवाय हरि ओम तत्सत्